What's going on, guys? So it's the month of October. I've been doing a lot of reviews for you guys. I've been having a lot of fun making this content. And today I wanted to spend my time talking about a specific movie, but also kind of talking about one of my favorite filmmakers in horror today, and that's Mike Flanagan. One of the things I've talked about in a lot of my reviews is how much atmosphere and tone and mood is important to me when it comes to horror films, and I think Mike Flanagan is one of the best in the game at this right now. He knows the perfect way to juggle family drama with legitimate horror while also adding some brevity in his films, but never escaping the true, genuine horror that his material provides. And I think it takes a very specific type of director to accomplish this, and he's perfect for it. I have seen everything that Mike has produced so far other than Midnight Mass. That's one of my next things up, but I've watched everything Mike's made. It's been great to kind of see his evolution as a filmmaker, and I think there are moments in his catalog that people don't pay enough attention to. And I really wanted to take this review to specifically talk about Ouija: Origin of Evil, because I think it's a movie that a lot of people have skipped over and not watched, whether that be a product of circumstance because it's a prequel to a movie that did not do very well. It's a very interesting property, but I think as a horror movie on its own, not even attached to anything else, it's just a really fantastic piece of horror. Ouija follows a family, a mother and her two daughters. There is a psychic medium, and she brings people in. She can, speak to the dead, people's fortunes, everything under the sun. But they're playing people, and it's all a game. And the daughters help set these situations up to where people think they're really speaking with the dead and protecting their loved ones, and that's how she makes a living. And there's more under the surface, which I think is what Mike does an incredible job with, where you have this family drama between mother and two daughters, and it's handled so well. The real horror of the film, which I'll talk about in a minute, but you also have the horrors of just real life. And that's the best type of horror films to me. And Mike seems to genuinely understand human condition and shit people go through, and how real life horror and exaggerated horror aren't that different. And I have really been attached to the horror genre my whole life, because when issues arise in my own life and problems happen and issues occur, seeing it portrayed on screen, even in an exaggerated horror lens, makes it feel better to know that someone understands and gets what you're going through. And Mike's one of my favorite filmmakers. Yeah, you have this family dynamic, and at a certain point, a Ouija board is brought into the home, and the youngest daughter begins to see things through the planchette, and weird stuff starts occurring in the house. So yeah, this is a period film. It's shot absolutely beautifully. There's so much attention to detail that you can even see things in the corner of the screen that the projectionist would see to either flip a reel. It's just awesome. I love the look of this movie. It feels very accurate to the time period. All the set design, the costumes, everything about it is great. The movie does a great job using horrifying CGI effects while also just creating atmosphere. Mike never relies on jump scares in his movies, and if there is a jump scare in his material, it's always earned. The one I always think about is that scene in the car in Haunting of Hill House that still horrifies me to this day. The movie has a lot of that, but Mike also knows how to create suspense by just holding on something for a long time. Horror is not always about using a loud noise or scaring you with a quick visual effect. Putting the camera on something, holding on it, and making you watch it is far more terrifying than a loud noise. He works with a lot of the same actors and actresses in his material, and I think it's great because they build a relationship and they give incredible performances. No exception in this movie to Elizabeth Reaser, who gives a phenomenal performance as the mother. Her performance is great in Hill House. All of the material that she's been involved in, she's just fantastic, and this movie is no exception. And you really get that feeling of a mother who's trying their best to do what's right for their children, and then when shit starts to hit the fan, she just wants to help and figure out like what they can do to make it better. And both the daughters, you know, they play as a family unit so well, and it really works for me. Youngest daughter, played by Lulu Wilson, gives a terrifying performance. Just like the beginning of the movie, she's just wanting to help her mom. She's so like innocent and helpful, and once the stuff starts happening with the Ouija board, she just becomes absolutely terrifying. Possession starts to creep in, essentially, and the look that she has when she's possessed is just terrifying. And there's some sequences in this film that I will never be able to purge from my brain, and that's a great thing. I like horror films that linger with you for a long time. I don't want to give too much away about the end of the film because I think it's a really great third act, very impactful to me. But yeah, everybody needs to watch this movie. I think Mike's popularity, obviously with his Netflix shows, Dr. Sleep, all the material he works on, he's such a talented director, and you have movies like this, Gerald's Game, Hush, even Absentia, his earliest work, that are really great horror films that a lot of people have skipped over or they don't know it's his property. And I think Ouija Origin of Evil, being a prequel to a movie that was not well received, people didn't really like it very much, to make a film that's this strong and engaging with great performances, excellent cinematography, very creepy sound design. It's a shame that more people haven't watched it. So if you haven't checked it out, I would highly recommend it. What do you guys think of Ouija Origin of Evil? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. Obviously, I have a fond appreciation for this movie and everything Mike Flanagan makes. I hope you guys get a chance to check it out. As always, I've got more content coming for you in the month of October. And I thank you guys so much for watching my videos as always, and have a great rest of your day.